Hello. Welcome back to the channel. I got a 3 versus 3 here on the volcano map of one of them. Yep. Getting into it, got Snake here who uploaded the recording here. Snake Hunter here in the purple with the Confederacy. His pocket's going to be Granuli here in the green with the Zan Consortium. Then we've got Nonaka Jones SD here in the blue with the New Republic. And on the other side of things, we've got First Order is Ge. That's in, I'm assuming he means that they're the Happy Civ here in the orange. Then we've got Yoda here in the grey with the Republic. And then lastly, we've got Smoky Venus here in the yellow with the Resistance. And it's Lava Flea for dinner here, just to keep the worker production going. 300 food in that bad boy. That's about, what, 6 workers or so. Keep things going for them there. And some Minox that they can push, but I'm not really seeing any nerfs, I don't think. So we get a potential map for this guy to live up to his intended name, potentially, if he gets those First Order Flame Troopers out. Because I assume that's the reason he doesn't like the Civ, but oddly enough, he is the Civ here, so let's see what happens. And in this map, you can maybe do a little bit of like inner walling. I don't know though. A lot of gaps, and I feel like these lava rocks mess with your building quite a bit too. So map kind of reminds me of like flats maybe. Just the way it's sort of laid out. The lava more like the cliffs you get in flats. And I'm looking to speed up because this T1's just going to be a little bit boring and a little bit slow with no nerfs. None of that like free income. They've got what, 2 lava fleas I failed to eat each, and then some Minox, and then they might actually have to make a couple of farms here and there. Get themselves into T2, and then, you know, finish building those on the back of that. Granuli not want to do none of that pushing business today. He's going to need the food processor anyway, so why not just slam it down next to the Minox? And these Minox are such a hassle to push these days as well. Just 100 food when it used to be 140. Something I really detest. Because a lot of the maps, like the space ones, are sort of balanced around like early Minox. And the 140, just, it feels so much better. Like, it gives you some time to like push one, then scout around your base. But when they're 100 food, you just gotta like perma push them. And if there's nerfs and stuff on the map as well, it definitely messes with you a bit. It's going to make you feel like you maybe need to go and get a medic or something like that, or use your worker to scout a bit more. I don't know, 100 to me, it just doesn't flow very well. In terms of just creating a little bit of a cushion for you to do other things with your scout. And this one's going to get pushed because they're not all together. He's got like 2 packs, so 1 pack for the food processor, push the rest of them here. And you can see those farms going to have to start, but like sort of space mass builds. Fortunately, Space Mass, though, you do a big amount of food stockpile or berries to munch on. And Nonaka here. Has he got any Minox? Maybe these are his Minox, to be honest. Weird spawns. Kind of far, though. He's just going straight into the farms. Probably not going to put you too far behind, to be honest. 600 food was nice to keep things going, get your carbon production going here. Is this probably not in carbon now? Only now. Oof. A little bit of a gap there. Oof. Gap, yeah. Shocking. Troop center going down for the Snake. I wonder if that's maybe a little bit earlier, or does he need it for his third? I suppose he needs it for his 3rd building, doesn't he? Because there's no nursery. How's the food looking? After me get a read. Probably still needs a bit of farms. I don't know about rushing, to be honest, on this map. I think you're going to have to make so many farms that when you get into T2, you're probably like 400 food or something. Does need it for his 3rd building, though, I suppose. I think this is much better for just T3ing, because then your 3rd building could be your Nova. Smokey being really annoying with Scout, but he's going to lose it. A punishment there, but yeah, this is on Troop Center, but he's doing a bit of like walling here today. Evolving his gameplay a little bit. And Power Core on the outside here. Don't really need to worry about it being too exposed, I don't think, because there's no, you know, like nursery antics. Some nice Minox in the back here that are just not being picked up by First Order. And Snake just getting them back here with the scout. El Vengeance. And he's giving up there, he's scouting, sees a power core. What does he actually know? Yeah, he's seen that troop center started, so they should both be firmly committed to this. And Snake, a nice little flow here. He's on his way to T2. He's got troopers building, so he should be able to get a handful out and then move them over and start upgrading them. That's the way to get them there quick as possible with the upgrades. Because that way you're spending that research time while they're on the move, rather than doing it first, then building them, then making them move. Troop center here for First Order. The pockets looking. Yoda been very safe here with a big wall in on the no nerf map too. He's maybe worried about just troopers coming over here or something like that. Might harm him a little bit later if his workers are stuck there in sort of a killing ground. Oh, he's not quite walled. This worker's munched the tree. Would be good practice though when most maps do have nerfs. Worry about this troop center getting deleted here. Look at the health on it. They minus 160 carbon. Oh, he does delete it in time. A big fear here. So on the other side of things, did he just lose his troopers or what? Confused. I like looked away for a little bit and what's happened? Where did they go? I don't even know where they died. I don't see their corpses anywhere. It's a true mystery. There's a scout. It's 1 TC versus 1 TC too. Huh. I don't know. We have like 3 or 4 of them out. Oh, there they are. They died here in the core. Okay. Purple, next to purple. So Yoda is actually going to try and pin him here, and this is kind of a big issue for Hunter, because this double troop center over here, he's on 1. I'm going to try and do some damage here, but he could basically just have his production camped if these workers come over and actually build a turret. Which means the power core will eventually die, and then the farms are getting encroached on as well. This would be a really good play from Smokey if he can get this this turret up. Just needs to make sure he pays attention when more troopers come his way. Might need a little bit of bailing out here for some air. The air bases have only just started right now for Granuli. It's really... everyone just seems traumatized these days by like mounted troopers. They're really playing around it. We got some flame troopers here for First Order, but he's not actually like doing anything with them. They're just chilling in his base. There's Blue's troops. Sneaking around. And the turret's going up here. Slowly but surely. Trooper's going to tank a little bit just to finish it off here. It does get into position and it's going to hit this carbon, so he's going to want to move the workers away and over to here in the back. Smokey though, I don't feel he's really... Normally what you want to do with this kind of gameplay is when you get this turret up, you want to have your troopers in position around where they're going to move their workers to, because there's not going to be any turrets there. And we know that Hunter doesn't really have any troopers to defend his workers, so if Smokey was in the area with his troops here, just waiting for this to go up, he could move into position and get some worker kills, and then it's like double damage, and then their second choice carbon has to become their third choice carbon, and then ordinarily by the time that happens you can have more troopers on the way as well. But I've just put the troopers in the turret. It doesn't really do anything because he's not there anymore. He's not even shooting the other turret. Shooting a house at the moment, so it's kind of minimal damage from a situation where you could probably just win the game. At least on that side of the map. They force the fighters to come and help. You see them coming back here. I don't know if they went to SY to do some damage. This is some anti-air troopers out. Two fighters for Yoda just chilling at home at the moment. Doesn't look like they've had to go anywhere as of yet. We're going to have a flame trooper on trooper fight here. I think the flame troopers are going to win this. A few concerns about these New Republic troopers. They seem to be a little bit slow in their auto attacks. I haven't massively tested it yet, but I feel like there's a slight delay there compared to other troopers. The sort of wind-up animation they do. I do need to test it. But I felt it was like I could cancel their auto attack more than I've ever been able to cancel other troopers' auto attacks. And a bit of a hill engagement here. Yoda getting actually kind of a good trade there, I think, with less fighters. But there are 3 left over for Granuli, and it's his choice what he wants to do with those. If he wants to go and pressure the wings or try and put the pressure back on Yoda. Unfortunately, I think if he went straight to Yoda, he's going to have the same amount just to push these away. I think it'd be better to actually just retreat and then look to take another trade while he's got more numbers again. But this is just going to even things out. Take some damage from Smokey there. He has to pull away, but he's got both these at half health now, and Yoda's on the way. He's hunting them down. Hunter doing a little bit of pressure here now that SY started giving up on things, but I don't think you can get in here, can you, if you delete this brief? Maybe you can get some. Troopers will come out, though, if you try and pass it down. Needs a bomber. Methinks. And First Order just chilling here, and Nonaka just chilling here. And I think most of the action's going to be on the top side of the map, because that's where the higher skilled players are. And I think that's just where the influence is going to have much bigger returns. Yoda chilling at home here. Really started doing the same. Hunter's still punishing SY here with his scout for earlier transgressions. And he's still alive. He lost a few workers here. If a few troopers managed to get in there or what. That's interesting. If you could just get some workers to bash it. These guys are in range though. I think these ones aren't. I think you could just knock these out the turret though and re-garrison. And win. It's 43. Oh. Fighters are here. Yoda's got a lot built up at home. Have a quick look where things stand. In terms of workers, Yoda 5 behind here, but he does have the 2 hollows, so I'd say that's a bigger return for him soon enough. Being Republic too. That's going to really help him leapfrog up to T4 when he wants to. So that 5 worker lead Granuli's got is not really too much. It's kind of on Granuli to see if he can maybe get some bit of a tech switch into strike mechs maybe. And then pressure Republic that way. I think his best course would be keep making fighters for a little bit, and he needs to be taking trades with Yoda and keeping his fighter count low. Then go up to T4, switch into strike mechs, and then just rely on interceptors and keep that fighter count low. And that would prevent the Republic from sort of influencing the game too much. Because you want to kind of just wait them out, right? So that window for T4 air is gone and early Jedi's gone. And then everyone else can catch up. But it could get worse and worse if Yoda manages to get more holocrons. So you can see there's one not too far from home. One over here. And the last one's over here at the top. A little bit of aggression from SD with strike mech and some fighters coming across here to First Order space. Who does have a few anti-air troopers here. Can see Smokey getting into T3 here. Yoda just sort of hovering. He's trying to predict where Granuli's going to hit. Yoda doesn't feel very aggressive these days. He seems to be playing very defensive. Which I think is actually probably a good move here when you're playing the air civ and they're not. You should try and just take the best fights possible so you can keep that air count high. Because you don't necessarily need to do all that damage in T3. You just need to get to T4 and then go for the damage, right? But he is going to sneak around here, maybe getting a little bit impatient. You can see that Granuli is actually thinking about going down to the other side of the map and seeing what damage he can do there, and maybe he can get some sort of differential, but changed his mind and he's actually going to go for Yoda's base, and Yoda has quite a handful here. Does have one turret to lean on, whereas he's coming here to harass the snake. Snake is T3 now. Does have some anti-air troopers, but you're really seeing that on the map. He even says hitting him, but Yoda's quite prepared here. He's done very well to actually macro and pump out these fighters. And you're really trying to take the trade here, but he's got his turret, he's just falling back. He doesn't need to press the issue. Wasn't paying too much attention at the top though. And Yoda does lose the trade here. I think that's a big win for Granuli and Snake here, to get a lot of those fighters killed off. Keep that in a more manageable state, where interceptors might play a role later on. The turret's almost dead here. Doesn't really do too much though. This is a nice carbon out the back here. Comfy. And we're kind of getting into that time where we should be thinking about T4. Yoda just feels like he's maybe 6 to 8 farms just off. Does have the hollows though. Could maybe just buy some food. See a research center going off. Another airbase. Hello? They call me to Research Center Larry. I hail from Brazil. Double research center right here from Yoda. Oh, not a third. Come on, man. So up to 4 airbase. A little bit unfortunate to blow the 200 carbon there. You don't really have so much of it when you're doing this kind of layout with your eco, when you've got a lot of Nova, a lot of food. You can see this is all the carbon workers. So that 200 carbon would have really helped when getting that armor upgrade or getting that fast fighter or advanced fighter upgrades. A little bit of random cross map here from Nanaka. Not really doing too much. You're only catching a few workers here, Yoda's they just built up next to this food processor. Unfortunately, very poorly protected. Really on his way to T3 or T4. But is there a transition out of fighters here for him? There's just not really anything good you could do on Food Nova with Sam. So the only thing I could really think of is like Salt Mech drop, and I wouldn't want to do that against the Jedi Civ. So I've got to transition out of this. Just build a bunch of interceptors. What's Granuli even? Second War Center. Gotta get his upgrades out for sure. Starting to make the strike mechs, but we've only 1 mech factory at the moment. I think this is just a little bit slow, maybe 5 minutes too slow. Which I think is going to give Yoda quite a nice window. You see how many fighters he's already got now as well. It's the consequence of not mashing against the fighters too much early on. This will be hard for his teammates. I think the snake is probably the most vulnerable here. The strike mech's getting in and doing a bit of damage. Got some fighters on the way too. Trying to help out. But here we go. I think he's going to go straight to the snake. Or is he going to Granuli? Sentry Post going to buy a little bit of time there, getting caught on patrol. You can see that they're fast fighters. See that they've got armor. Shields is obviously going to be on the way. And he's just been getting air transport dropped in. And Yoda's on the way. Really going to try and build the turret. Can maybe help out here. Use T4. Advanced turret 70% of the way. It's actually got some batteries too. I feel like you should only do one or the other. And with 2 airbases, I'd like to see some interceptors just getting built here, just to chip away at them, micro away. Get that number lower for your teammates. Turrets are up. You would have just not microing away though. Just a senseless trade. Losing all of his fighters. That's a big win for Team Granula here. Purely on that mistake. And you come up to the top here to try and pressure the snake, but this turret is covering quite a lot of the base. And some fighters here as well. 1 down. 2 down. Oh. Strike mech's helping them. 3 and 4. So Yoda pretty much just thrown away all of his fighters here and lost all that momentum. And we've got a few strike mechs out. Upgrades are still pumping. They just need to get out on the map now, I feel. When this fighter count's low, they should be out on the map and try and put the pressure on Yoda and keep him in his base from now on. I can see that Hunter's got the right idea with the strike mechs here. Actually catching him in transition here. Trying to get into some maybe like either his own heavy strike mechs or build some MDs, maybe heavy mech destroyer. Try and take into the center there. Deal with like the coming strike mechs from Zan. And that guy keeps coming up here as fighters. Looks like him in First Order just chilling. Fortress on the way here though. Planned invasion. Maybe their non-aggression pact is coming to an end. It's quite exposed here, just a few prefab shelters really on the front. Another airbase. See SY getting quite a few different units out here, trying to take control of things, grab that ore in the centre. There's another ore up here as well. And the Confederacy Strike Mech, never really that great, is it? Don't really scale too well. And some fast fighters now from Nonaka. Being the team's sort of air guy here. Coming in, just sort of getting behind Yoda's fighters. They're trying to catch up to him now. They will have the advantage being advanced fighter, but it looks like a better engagement here for Nonaka. It looks like that advanced fighter just doing it though. Did look like he had the better arc and everything. And some attackers out here for Republic. I'm gonna find this forward here. Jet Trooper's not going to do very good against the air civ. And losing all the workers here at the forward. And that's going to be very annoying. I have to send them back over. Like a bit of a chore to get over there with all the prefab wall and stuff. These workers just melting because they don't have basic training. Have you ever seen 2 fighters kill so many workers? 1-shots, man. This is a classic. Your teammate is Republic, with 2 hollows in the pocket. And you out here grabbing up the holocron. Atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Is that one of the words Scottish people can't say? Atrocious. Atrocious. I'm Sean Connery. Atrocious. Atrocious. Purple burglar alarm. That's what they say in it. Purple burglar alarm. I can't say purple burglar alarm. Not much going on right now. It's a little bit of downtime. Here's Granula though coming out into the map with these strike mechs. You want to see these getting here before Republic are ready to do something else, but he's got quite a handful of attackers, which I think are going to do well on defense. I think this should have just been happening 10 minutes ago, man. 10 minutes ago. Let's see what damage you can do though. There's a lot of workers actually migrating out, I think, to the forward, and they're just going to get completely caught here. And it's going to take a while for the attackers to get down. So these are all just dead. Oh yeah, and also no basic training, so they just melt. Just absolutely slaying. That's Anakin in the Jedi Temple moment right there. Oh, it's the Skywalker. Pretty sure that kid's name was Liam as well in the movie. Rip. He slew Liam. And the attackers do pretty well, right? Decent damage. Don't see any tedious micro though. Putting some troopers in them with the upgrade. That's what we need. Or did that get changed? I don't know if it got changed to just be a lower thing only, like if you want to roleplay. I would have preferred it was. No. Loaded attackers gain a secondary beam weapon. I feel like they should just have the second beam weapon. You gotta put a trooper in. Or something. Is it just troopers you can put in it? I'm not sure. Put workers in them. Yeah, pretty good damage. That's why I built some walls. He's got his forward up. He's crawling forward here. Some interceptors defending him. I'll make sure they don't die to any air. And Yoda on a heavy strike mech now. Coming into Granulli's base. Might catch him off guard a little bit here. His mechs are actually going to be quite strong to push these away. Even his strike mechs are going to be stronger in a straight up fight. See that difference in health. 50 HP more and they got more damage at the moment. They can have even more. Yeah, well, they're up to +9, right. So +9 versus +5 at the moment. Plus 50 health on them. I would just defend pure strike mech. Then once you clean it all up, send them back across. More fighters from Idanaka trying to help out here. Cannon in position. Starting to shell the base of the snake here. And the snake's just a lot further behind at the moment. It's not had a good time this game. So difficult for him to get the units out to push this away at the moment. He's got some MDs. Not too many upgrades for these MDs yet for resistance. They can get up to a lot more HP. But it's 150 versus 150. It's probably the time, to be honest, to do some damage. Oof. Might want to pull back there and just let the fighters kill off the cannons. Kind of takes the bite out of this attack. That's why I'm really getting walls everywhere, man. Shutting down that strike mech harassment. Granulli's gonna have to, like, get out on the map here. Because that's kind of the end of his strike rating. I just don't feel like he's got, like, a good enough army together. With some infrastructure somewhere, nowhere near the centre or anything like that. I have to rally all of his units over to Hunter's base at the moment. Let's see. This wall's really going to shut him down in the centre though, because it stops him going straight across to Yoda. Yoda getting a lot of heavy strike mechs out. You have to remember, everyone's got 50 less HP. Hunter's struggling. He doesn't really have anywhere else to, like, build to. He's up against the edge here, and then this lava cuts him off from the top corner. So this is all his farm space, really. Attackers, though. A lot of air causing problems here for the resistance player. I think he needs to get these, yeah, fully upgraded. Get the heavy anti-air. Get a lot of AMABs out. Build some turrets as well. Because they're heavily reliant on that at the moment. And you're trying to follow up on this with his heavy strike mechs. I think it'd be better to just go straight for Granulli's base. Granulli's just sent his MDs over here too. So I think all this team needs to do is cancel out this team helping the snake, because the snake is so far behind Smokey at the moment. He's reliant on these reinforcements to stay alive. So Yoda going in here, picking this moment, and he needs to just one tap every mech he sees, keep the numbers low. And then just kill workers where he can. I don't like him splitting up here, because once he gets cleaned up, these units are going to come over and they're going to help. I see Smokey is struggling to do two things at once. Because it's like he stopped making mechs to make A-mobiles, and I feel like he should be able to build both. And one of his health upgrades. Here's the other one. He's his heavy. See, I think this is much more manageable when he splits up. Because you just send one MD to each bit. Whereas I think if they kited them round, they could just like one-tap them, right? Shoot an MD, run, shoot an MD, run, shoot a strike mech, run. I'll lure the units further away from the front. They're starting to push here with Granuli's MDs actually at the front of the army. Artillery getting added on as well. And if too many of them get out, this will be difficult for Resistance to actually deal with. Because they don't have assault mechs. They're only really relying on air cruiser or getting their own artillery. And I've got this big forward, but First Order looks like an AI player right now with so many of these just sitting next to their mech factory. What a weird battle going on here. This looks like a turn-based game. Whose turn is it though? Must be Estes, his units are moving. No shield, but there's so many mechs here, I feel like Estes should be getting punished. I'm curious if Estes are looking at this and it's like, maybe I shouldn't aggro him. I should just sit here and wait. Because he definitely doesn't have the numbers, and the cannon should be able to see a lot of this too, with their line of sight. It's going all a little bit slow up here. Slow artillery. Not really seeing the Granuli I know, where he gets big armies out. Definitely struggling here. This little command and conquer looking tanks, but look at this from Yoda. Oh, is he not invisible though? He's gonna take a lot of damage from Zan mechs. Look at their health. That +9 like really makes a difference. Oh, there's a sentry post. Did they have this though when I looked at them? I don't know if they did. I've only just finished. He might have built that when he saw them. They're coming over here now though. Can maybe convert some artillery. Slow this push down. I feel like SY is just sort of folded too hard here though, for how ahead he was. I'm not really too sure why he's folded. Like even this is all a mess. Like look where the units are and the infrastructure's in front of them. We don't have a shield. The units need to be like in a good arc with space to fan out and deal with these this area of effect damage. Needs to bring all these units forward and just fan them out, get a shield down, and just start spamming units onto the front. Add some cannons, get that pressure on, because you can see Granuli is on the way with all the mech destroyers here. And oh, it's First Order's turn. The units are moving into position. The timer's expired, he's allowed to attack now, I guess. Still no basic training. It's like a StarCraft when your opponent sends their workers to free up population room. But Nanaka saying he's going to make benties. I think he needs to make some units to deal with this push that's coming his way. There's a lot of mech destroyers. He's lucky they're not all engaging at the same... Well, there we go. It's his turn again. On patrol. What the hell is going on, man? How many workers has he built? 194. He definitely needs to send a few at the front. With no basic training. Maybe he can attack the fortress with them. I'd like to see him bring his units forward while these are terribly tanking. And up the top here, when Guruli arrived, it's too much for these resistance mechs. Switching into attackers, actually. Which could be troublesome for them if they start making a lot of anti-air infrastructure and defending it well from the Jedi. But they need to watch. They don't want to lose these units. It's not worth it. See those masters die quite easily though. That +9 mech destroyer. First order's rich as hell, man. Good resources. Top score. No basic training. Big booming. They have those buffs though, right? Worker carry +2 resources. Really gonna pay off here in the late game on the farmers and stuff. In flank position right now. And attackers clean everything up. New fortress going down. We don't have range yet for these artillery. And is that only his first fortress? I think what he needs here is he needs the Confederacy unit. I think this is a good time for it. Spaceport going down. They definitely need to get some trade going. Kind of a shame that they've not gotten trade yet. The other team are just thinking the same thing now. I guess they've been fighting and busy for a little bit. They postpone the idea of trade. And Granuli actually having to come down here. This is a big problem for them, him having to come down here when they're playing around the top here. Be difficult for the Snake, because the Snake's never really been in a winning position to then defend this 2v1. They have to hope that they just are a little bit apathetic about pushing up there. And really doing much better on the ground. He's got stronger mechs here. The attacker's got some good DPS too. It's only one turret. I wouldn't be too worried about one turret. I think they should have just smashed this army as much as possible. They take like 3 hits, but I mean, you're gonna lose a lot more if you go in, run away, then come back in. Because it's a lot of time you're not shooting. And these are nice grenade troopers, they're good differential here. So really gonna add some damage. And the way he keeps stacking these up on flank formation too. Which makes like 2 perfect clumps for grenade troopers. I think staggered would be the way there. And big push now, because they know Granuli's down there. And this is just such a stronger army at the moment. He's wiped out most of the ground. He's even got the Mounties. Like, SYs are really playing really well with these tech switches right now. Making it really hard for the Snake up here. So, the attackers were tanking, and now the mounted troopers are tanking. They're getting on top of these A-mobiles and artillery. That fortress goes down as well, which is a huge loss to Confederacy. Because those Magna Guards would be such a big impact, I think, in this matchup against Resistance. You see how long these are not even like the strongest Mounties in the game, you know? It's the base 160 here. And they're tanking for days. Just need those cannons coming further forward, get rid of that shield generator. And the bottom side of things, they kind of just like a flood of MDs just sacrificing themselves to keep Granuli busy down here. But he's moved into the center now, and him and Yoda trading in the center, but Yoda's going to come out a little bit short here, I feel. Because his mechs just can't really go toe-to-toe with these guys. What he needs to be leaning on, I feel, is this cheaper assault mechs. And the fact that he has masters, which means, you know, Zan can't really do the same. I think you need a shield generator and you need assault mechs here as Republic. And of course, grenade troopers would always be great. You know, pretty decent grenade troopers as Republic. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be the aggressor here. ACs would be nice as well. Just anything, just turtle and a shield generator. Just going mech destroyer versus mech destroyer. You can see it in the stats, 50 health, +2 damage. You're not coming out ahead there. I think you're only really coming out ahead there if your macro is way better than them, or you're just like you're a higher level player than them, and naturally your macro is better, right? I'd say these guys are quite evenly matched, so I want to rely on some different units here. See some attackers just trying to shore things up there for Yoda, buying some time to rebuild, because a lot of MDs have gone down. And this is so much more manageable for Nunaka and Granuli here. Army wiped down. It's not really enough to properly push. He's even trying to kill the shield generator at the moment. Gets it almost down. There's the assault max. That's definitely what we needed to see. But they will need some meat shield. They can't be running forward like that, man. I think you need to get an AC as well. And use the AC to create space for your assault max. And there's not enough MDs alive to tank. These guys just walk forward and one tap them. Pretty awkward area as well with this tree cluster. And now we've really got full domination in this situation. See some grenade troopers trying to get out here. Only +1 range at the moment though. Only a few attackers. Shoot them with a cannon. SY continuing to push here. Hunter's still alive though. Really is throwing a few units here or there. Might be better to just donate some strike max up here in the moment, but oh, it's tough. Maybe want to go troopers here. Maybe mass mounties is confed. Get off. The artillery is just like not going to work anymore. You don't really have any. The numbers are too low now. Hard to protect them. I think I'd go for a big mounty tech switch here, because there's really nothing to deal with it. And those mechs miss armor and damage. And Yoda, I think Yoda's in trouble here, because these units are coming into his economy now. And it's like this team might actually collapse from the center. Because things look really good on the wings. But Bernoulli's just cutting through him here and getting into a really good position with his mechs. And his cannons. Yeah, I don't know if his wings are going to win fast enough, that's a problem. Because when you're in here with your mechs, you can then go in here with your mechs. And you can go in here with your mechs. And then your teammates just need to stall with some ACs or something like that. And you just win a battle of attrition. See SY trying to take the trade here with Bernoulli. Where are they going? I think First Order is definitely winning here though. So many units. Basic training track, still unresearched. I see that a lot of workers dying here. That +9 damage. Pretty good. Assault max would be terrible as well. These numbers are sort of low. They help when the mounties come running at them. Get a lot of damage on them. Here they come again. These strike mechs are trolling, man. They're like shooting at mechs right now. In their minimum range. To pull them away a bit there. I don't know, I don't feel like they're stopping Bernoulli very well. So, Orange honestly could just grab his units and walk into the base here. And then threaten to walk into Bernoulli's. But he's just wasting too much time just fighting nothing. Because he's really strong, like on the ground. He's so much units here. He's got cannons too. I think you just walk in. A lot of people just spend too much time shooting buildings. This one had to get remade, I believe. This should be the continuation. So even Granuli here, he just needs to go into their bases. I don't care too much about defending this. So giving them time to rebuild, get units together. The Snake's trying to hold on, but it looks like he's crumbled now. Really not too much there at all, and this is a lot of space for Smokey to advance. He needs to bring these cannons over. Get them set up here or something. So I mean though, like just fighting a new fortress that got built. He's even killed a lot of the work. He needs to hit the pocket, man. Like, he's the big differential for his team and he's just not doing it. His teammates need to let him know, man. Like, move your units here. Just run in. Just run in. There's nothing to stop you. Nothing. Look, this is where all Granuli's units are. Hunter doesn't have anything. Nanaka, Blue Estate, he doesn't have anything here anymore. He's just got a few attackers. You just need to go in. You should see it with Strike Mechs now. You just need to grab these whole forces and move. Or his team's going to lose. They got a big fight against Granuli here. They're trying to keep him out of the economies. I worry though, is Granuli losing his units too quickly? Is he not going to be able to rebuild them? He does have an okay-ish bank. He's over here again. He's trying to bail out the Snake. Still looking pretty strong here, to be honest. I think he should make a round of Strike Mechs and go into their eco. Because he's got this highway built, you know, into their base. And they've got no win condition here now. Absolutely routing everything, like Zan mechs versus resistance, like it's going to be a no contest here, I feel. Missing that armor and damage is a big deal. I know they got the health, but they're good enough to use other things like grenade troopers and ACs, I feel. And now they're getting pushed here. This is almost like 2 win conditions now. But First Order is just still not getting in there. He's fighting the ghost of Este right now. He's fighting a hologram. Some very few units coming to intercept him and keep him here longer. Keep him befuddled. Stop him getting into the eco. And now these guys are getting into theirs. And actually A-mobiles making their way to the trade. I actually really see any traders though. There. Not many. Not many at all. Yeah, I feel First Order definitely could have won this game, I think. What are they going to do? Just walks over here, kills all these workers. There's a lot of carbon in production for Granuli. And then just intercepts all their traders. And I think they're going to call GG because they got smashed up here. Granuli isn't their base. And First Order just not throwing its weight around properly. Or he could be. He's trying to rescue them now, unfortunately. Like he was their big win condition, but they've not really understood that as a team or conveyed that to one another properly. But yeah, I think that'll be the end of it. GG, well played to all involved. I'm just going to pause it there because I'm not watching the hero moding. But yeah, if you like the content, please consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. If you want to get involved in these types of games, you'll find our GBG server invite down below in the description field. One for the Expanding Fronts mod, which is the mod that we're playing. A link for Voobly.com where you can play this game online. And you can pick the game up from GOG, Steam. I saw on EA as well. And you were getting it free from Prime last month, and maybe it's still just now, I don't know. But yeah. If you want to support the channel another way, maybe buy me a coffee. You can find a PayPal donation link down below in the description field. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.